Hi, I'm Tom. I'm a member of the 125 Live TechMates team. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to use the navigation controls on an Android smartphone. Let's take a look at the navigation controls on the bottom of your Android smartphone screen. Right now I'm on my second home screen, and you can see there's three navigation controls on the bottom of the screen. These will appear on all your home screens. So if I swipe from left to right, go to my first home screen, you can see the navigation controls are there. They can be very handy because some applications don't always have navigation built into them really well. And if they don't, you can always do like a go back and that type of thing and go back to where you were conveniently. I'll show you that shortly. But first of all, the three navigation controls, on the left of my screen, you see looks like a triangle pointed to the left, and that's the go back. And some Android phones, it'll actually be like an arrow pointing like to the left. On the middle, you'll see my home button. If you press that, it doesn't matter where you are, you go back to your home screen. And then on the right on my screen, you'll see what looks like a square. On some phones, they'll look like a rectangle, might look like two squares or two rectangles, that type of thing. And that one is the Open Apps button. As far as the appearance goes, the home button's always going to be in the middle, the go back, and the Open Apps could be on either side. So let's take a look at how to navigate. I'll open up my New York Times application, which should be a good one to demonstrate with. So I'll open up my reading folder by tapping on there. And I'll tap on the New York Times app to open it up. And now, say I'm in the middle of reading my New York Times, and I happen to notice I got an email or something. I could just tap on my home button there, go back to my home screen, and then I could open up my email, my Gmail. Or maybe I could open up my AccuWeather. Now, New York Times is still open because all I did was go back to my home screen. I didn't close it. So let's go and find it. How can I find it? Well, there's two ways I can get back into New York Times. I can tap on the app by opening up the reading folder and then tapping on New York Times, or I can tap on the Open Apps. So I'll do that. I'll tap on there, the bottom right, and it'll present me with the open applications, and I can tap on New York Times, open that up. I'm back again. So I'll show you the go back now. Say I start getting into the New York Times application and I tap on sections. And I tap on sports. And then I'll tap on this article and start reading it. Then I say, well, I really didn't want that. I want to go back. Well, fortunately, New York Times does have good navigation built into it. So you see I have two ways to go back. Top on the left side of my screen, there's a back arrow, go back arrow. And also on the bottom of my navigation, I got the go back there too. But if you're in an application that doesn't have that, you can just hit the bottom left there, which I'm going to do, and go back that way. And say that's not far enough. I'll tap on it again, you go back again. Well, as you can see, I'm back in the sections. I'll tap again. Right back where I started when I got into the application. If I tap on it again, it takes me right back to my home screen. So now I'm back there again. New York Times is still open, right? So let's say I want to get into my weather app. Let's see what the weather's like. Tap on the weather app to open it up. And there's the weather. I'm going here, checking it out, that kind of a thing. Looks like it's going to rain in 7 minutes. Good thing I'm indoors. Okay. And then if I tap on home, I'll go home. Now it's still open. I can't see that because I'm on my home screen. But if I want to see the open apps, just tap on the open apps button on the right. Now I can see that weather app is open. If I want to go, I could tap on it. I can scroll from left to right here, drag it. I can see the New York Times is open. Go farther over, and I can see that, oh, look at this Zoom application is open. The reason why that's open is because I'm using Zoom to record this demo right now. A little further, and most Androids have a clear all. That can be really handy feature. You can just tap that and close everything that's open. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to close the demo. But pretty handy feature. If you're like most of us smartphone users, eventually end up with lots of open applications and you're forgetting, geez, how many do I have open? And I think if you're like me, you probably want to clean it up once in a while. So that's where the close all comes in handy. Kind of, if you're not using it, close it type thing. So there's another feature I'd like to show you on there that's really pretty handy. A lot of people don't realize that happens, and it's pretty useful if you have an Android phone that has a large enough screen to do it. It's called split screen. So I'll open up the open apps to see them. And you notice they have a little icon in the top. That has a really special purpose for getting us into split screen. If I tap on the weather app, that little icon in the top, it gives me a little menu. I can get application information, which is handy, or you can do split screen. So tap on there and it puts that in there. Now say if I tap on the New York Times, similarly, tap on it, and now I've got both of them open in my screen together. So that can be a pretty handy feature that a lot of people aren't familiar with. So there we go again. Now if I want to get rid of it, swipe it off. I don't want to get rid of that one. Let's tap on the, drag down the only one that's left there. Now I'm in the weather app again, full screen. Tap open apps, and I can close it. So that's a pretty handy feature, the split screen, built right in there too. So that's it for this demo. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you liked it, keep tuning in to our YouTube channel. We'll be offering more of these videos from time to time. And we'll also be updating the existing videos as things change.